The last method of tying a bowline that I will cover is the flying bowline, also known as the tugboat bowline. And the most important thing to know with this method is that it does not give you a true bowline. As we can see here, it does form a fixed loop, a fixed eye in the end of a line. It does have a similar tongue configuration up here, which does let you release it even when it's under a great deal of load, which is all nice. But it is not a bowline. It has a completely different knot structure. It is similar, but it is not the same. I really am unsure about its breaking strength retention. As we know, most knots cut the breaking strength of a line in half. A bowline does a little bit better than that, with retaining somewhere between 60 and 70% of a line's initial breaking strength. I really have no idea what a tugboat bowline is able to retain in terms of a line's breaking strength, but I will not be testing it or trying it out on anything that is going to be under significant load. No towing applications, any lifting applications. I will not be using a tugboat bowline. I will always use either a spliced eye, is preferred, or a traditional bowline or variation of the bowline. So, I've included this because I always get questions from students when teaching the bowline. Do you know how to tie a flying bowline? And quite frankly, I did not for a very long time, and I just assumed that it was some fancy showmanship way of tying an actual bowline. But because I get questions about it all the time, we will show you how to tie it, and I personally would be okay using this for any light duty, say tying up a dinghy at a dinghy dock for a brief amount of time, things of that nature. Never tying a large vessel up, especially in wind or a storm or anything like that. All of those, I encourage you to default back to the traditional bowline and use this sparingly. But if you're just interested in looking how to tie a new knot, it is pretty cool. It is interesting to tie, and you can look like a boss doing it. So let's get into it. First thing that we're going to do here, we again are going to start as we would with our rabbit and tree method, with our working end in our right hand, a little bit of a bite in between, and our standing end in our left. Only difference to this is that we're going to want to give ourselves a bit of a tail on our working end, because this will be the flying portion of the flying bowline. So we're going to be tossing around that end. I will be doing kind of a compact, abbreviated version of this because I'm trying to fit it in frame, but maybe I'll include a full-size version out on deck at the end of this video. So, as we have here, we are going to want to have a little bit of our tail on our working end and our bite in between and our standing end in our left hand. First step is to turn your index finger in, creating somewhat of a loop here in our left side. As we do that, we're going to want to take our working end. Wants to be going around over the standing part, and then you want to flick that working end up and have it land somewhere up here. So that will look like this, right? And then the very final thing we do here is we're going to pass this entire loop that we've made, this entire eye that we've made, through the loop in our left hand. So the loop in our right's going through the loop in our left. And then we're going to grab the standing part and pull as we do that, and we have our tugboat bowline or our flying bowline. I'll do that one more time, slightly faster. We'll see how it goes on this miniature scale. And there we go. You still got me?
Yep.
My tail's too long.